Perfect. Okay, so this is our exerciser. And then we also have our TheraBand. What I meant with it being looped is you can just form a knot with it, and then we're going to put it around our knees at a later stage, but I'll show it to you as we start. So I'm going to keep today's class very much pure essential start, and we're going to just start seated, cross-legged, and slightly forward. So you're just going to hinge slightly forward. You can put your hands on your knees. We're going to do a few breathing techniques here. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in, expanding into the sides of the rib cage and into the abdomen. And then also in this position, you'll be able to feel the air coming in through your back as well. So we want to get that lovely posterior lateral breathing pattern going, or three-dimensional breathing. Breathing in through the sides of the rib cage, through the abdomen, and then also in through the back. So if you can put your hands on the back, on your lower back, you can almost feel yourself breathing into your hands. This is just a lovely proprioceptive tool to use when we do our breathing. We're breathing in through our nose and exhaling through slightly pursed lips. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. And then our last breath in. On this exhale, I want you to gently contract your pelvic floor. So we have the feeling of holding urine, just the soft pull of the pelvic floor upwards. And exhale, releasing that. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, draw up the pelvic floor slightly. We have activation here of what we call our transverse abdominis as well. So the pelvic floor aids in stabilizing, or the TA, or the transverse abdominis, is a stabilizer. It helps in firing this stabilizer. And this stabilizer we need during our everyday activities, when we're walking, when we're standing, and even when we're sitting. Very important. So we're just going to take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, draw up the pelvic floor. The TA comes and fires with it. And then you're going to feel your abdominals also contracting on that last bit of the exhale. Inhale, release. Exhale. So our stabilizers and our abdominals work in almost like a chain reaction. As you inhale, we're just going to keep it softly contracted. But as you exhale, we're going to draw up the pelvic floor. It's called the submaximal contraction. Firing of the TA happens, and then our abdominals come in. Okay, last breath in and out. We're going to switch over now to standing on all fours. So hands are directly under your shoulders, knees are directly underneath the hips. We're going to do the same breathing pattern, but just in a different position. So for some people, they might not have felt the first one, and maybe this one, you'll feel a little bit more of the contraction and of the movement. So we're going to find our neutral pelvis. You have a slight arch in your lower back, and we're just going to shift our gaze slightly forward. Inhale here. As you exhale, draw up the pelvic floor. So again, that feeling of kniping a pee-pee. I'm just going to say it nicely. And then we're going to exhale to release it slightly. And then inhale, prepare. Exhale, I messed up the breath now. Drop the pelvic floor, exhale. And inhale, release slightly. While we're in this position, make sure that you're not sinking in through your lower back, so you don't want to overarch. And we're pressing out from our shoulder blades. So you have this little bit of an activation of our shoulders. Inhale, and then on the last exhale, we're going to tuck in our tailbone around the back, articulate all the way from our tail to our head for the cat-cow stretch. Inhale to stay, and then exhale to press the bum back and up to the sky. So imagine that you have 2 spotlights on your bum, and those spotlights are now going to shine down on the exhale, tucking the tail underneath, rounding the back, The head comes last. Then inhale to stay here. As you exhale, press the bum back and up. Spotlights go up to the sky. And then we're just going to shift our gaze forward again. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the tail round the back. Inhale to stay. Exhale, press the bum back and up. Now we're just going to place the right hand underneath or behind the head. And we're going to do a few thread the needle exercises. I'm going to take this baggy thing off so you can see. We're going to reach our elbow up to the roof. Inhale. As you exhale, we're going to thread the arm through the bottom. So you're going to attempt to put your cheek, opposite cheek on the mat. Inhale, open up. Exhale to twist. We're keeping our hips squared down to the floor, but we're opening up our rib cage to the roof. And exhale. Reach. Inhale, reach. And through. So here we're getting some nice mobilization, mobility in our rib cage, in our thoracic spine. Inhale, and in our shoulder, through, and hand down on the mat. We're going to go to the other side. Inhale, reach the elbow up to the sky. Exhale to thread it through. Inhale, reach. Exhale, through. Inhale, reach. And exhale through. 2 more. And through. And 1 more. And through. We're going to place our hands back on the mat. Your fingertips are spread out, so you have a nice stable base for your arms to push out from. We're going to round our shoulders. So we have our neutral spine fixed already. We're going to press the floor away from us. So the shoulder blades are going to move away from the midline of the body. We call this protraction. And then as you exhale, the shoulder blades move in towards the midline of the back. Inhale to press and round the shoulders, and then exhale to retract the shoulder blades. I want you to imagine as you're retracting that you're squeezing a big marshmallow between your shoulder blades. Your abdominals are active the whole time, so you're not sinking in through your abdominals. They are contracted. We're going to inhale to push up, protract, and exhale to retract. 2 more, and back. 1 more, and back. Next, we're going to go and lie on our back. Knees are bent, and our feet are flat on the floor. And we're going to take our exercise band now. So just to show you, if you don't have an exercise band, you're just going to take the TheraBand around your knee, and then you can just knot it here. So it should be quite snug around your legs. So you can just knot it so we can have some proprioceptive feedback. So you want the feeling of resistance against the outside of your knee. So now I'm just going to take my exercise band and place it just above the kneecap. So around both legs. We're going to separate our feet at about a hip distance apart, which is just the fist distance between the foot and the knees. Our hands are next to our sides, head is down, and we're just going to do a few hip rolls here. So go find your neutral pelvis. A small recap of our neutral pelvis is when we palpate these sticky hip bones and our pubic bone, it forms a triangle. This triangle should be more or less parallel to the floor. If when you've found that position, that's your neutral position, it's our most shock absorbing position for our pelvis to be in. And then we're just going to, from our neutral position, we're going to draw our ribs towards our hips. In other words, we have 2 cable ties joining our ribs and our hips together, and they're just shortening slightly. So we have that abdominal activation without jamming the lower back into the mat. So we're just going to, on the exhale, draw the ribs to the hips, roll through that imprint position, tuck the tailbone, curl the lower back off the mat, middle back off the mat, and upper back off the mat. We're just going to rest here on our shoulder blades. Inhale to stay up here, then exhale, we're melting our spine back onto the mat from our rib cage all the way down into the thoracic, into the lumbar spine. Inhale, as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, pull up. We're using our abdominals and our back muscles. This is an amazing articulation exercise. Inhale and exhale to roll down. Really try to feel each and every one of your vertebrae roll through the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Draw the ribs towards the hips. Roll through the imprint. Onto the shoulders. Inhale, stay. And exhale, roll down. If you feel like you're cramping in your hamstrings, you can pull your heels closer to your seat, or you can separate your legs slightly. Okay, so we're just going to, from here, lift the legs up into a tabletop, but before lifting the legs up, we're just going to find our imprint again, so ribs to hips, lift the legs up in a tabletop, and then arms come out to the side. We're going to do a few spinal rotations. We're going to inhale in the middle to stay. Then exhale to rotate to the left. Inhale, stay, breathe into that right rib cage. Exhale, bring the knees back. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, rotate to the right. Inhale, stay, squeeze the knees together, bring both of them back to center. Inhale and exhale, rotate. Inhale to stay. As you rotate, you're only going as far as you can keep that opposite shoulder grounded on the mat. So inhale, exhale, rotate. We're getting some mobility here and some rotation into our lower part of our spine. Inhale, exhale, twist. Inhale, stay, and exhale back to center. Feet come down. We're going to place our feet again at that hip distance apart. It doesn't really matter on this one how far the heels are from the seat, because we're not going to come into a hip lift position. So your hands are just lying next to the mat. We're going to start with our abdominal prep exercise. We're going to inhale to nod the head, chin to chest. You have a space for about a small fist to fit between the chin and the chest. Then we're going to exhale to lift the head up, hover the arms slightly above the mat. Keep this pelvis in neutral, inhale to stay, and exhale, roll all the way down. Releasing the head nod at the end. So it's an inhale to nod the head, lengthening the back of the neck. Exhale to flex up. Inhale to stay. Exhale, lower down all the way. We'll do 10 of this. Inhale, nod. Exhale, lift. And lower. The idea here is that we maintain our neutral pelvis. Inhale, nod. Exhale, lift. Because when we're in our neutral position, our stabilizers, they switch on more effectively. Inhale, nod, and lift, and lower. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, stay. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, nod. 2 more. Relax the neck and the shoulders. So a lot of the times, when our stabilizers are weak, our neck wants to help us a little bit. And that's why it's very important for us to nod the head, to switch on those deep neck flexors, to support our head properly in the lift. Now we're going to turn onto our stomach. You can keep the band on your knees. Turn onto the stomach. Your hands are by your shoulders. We're going to do a few upper back exercises or thoracic extension exercises. We're going to rest our forehead on the mat. Inhale to prepare. The legs are about hip distance apart again. And we're just going to pull the shoulder blades down to start the movement. So we have a stabilized scapula or stabilized shoulder blades. Then we're going to exhale to lift up, press gently into the mat with the forearms, and shift your gaze slightly forward. So your neck is still in line with your upper back. Inhale, stay. Exhale, lower down. Now, if you're wondering how high you must lift up, you're just going to lift up no higher than the last rib. So your last rib should still be attached to the mat. If you feel like your lift is much less, then that's also okay. Inhale and exhale, lower down. It might just mean that there's some weakness. Pull down on the shoulder blades. Exhale, lift. Inhale, stay. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, imagine you're rolling a marble forward to the front part of the mat. Inhale to stay. Exhale, bring the marble back again. And inhale. Keep the abdominals engaged. Pull the shoulder blades down and back. And no part of our body is relaxing except our lower back and our legs. And down. Now we're going to take our hands by our sides. The shoulders are flopped forward. So we start in a flexed forward position with our shoulders. Then we're going to retract the shoulder blades on the inhale. Inhale, pull the shoulders back, hover the arms above the mat. Then exhale, shift your gaze, keep it down. So now we have a long line. You're forming a dot. Inhale, stay. Exhale, lower down all the way. Inhale, shoulders. Exhale, lift. Inhale, stay. Exhale, lower down all the way. Inhale, shoulders back. And lower. 2 more, shoulders go back. We lift up. Inhale, stay. Exhale, lower. And the last one, shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale, stay. Exhale, lower down all the way. We're taking our hands underneath our forehead. For this one, if you feel like it's too difficult for you to lift your hand and your head off the mat, then please just lift one hand and then lower it down. So we're doing exactly the same movement with thoracic extension. The head is now resting on your hands. So now we're lifting our hands and our head up together. The lift is very small. So even if you lift half a centimeter off the mat, then you're still okay. So we're going to inhale. Exhale to draw the shoulder blades down and back. Lift up. Inhale, stay. And lower down. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale and lower down. And lift. Exhale. And lower. 2 more. Inhale. And lower. Last one. Inhale. And lift. Pull the shoulder blades down and back. Keep the abs engaged and lower down. You can go sit back into that nice rounded C-curve shell stretch. So I want you to imagine that you're hugging a ball as you do this. Try not to sink in through your shoulders. Unless you want a little bit more of a shoulder stretch, you can reach forward and lie through your legs. But we want to have that lovely rounded back position to counter our extension, to just stretch it out again. Next, we're going to go lie down again on our back. Feet are flat on the mat. Knees are bent. And we're just going to bring our legs up into a tabletop. So legs come up in a tabletop. Then we're going to lift in our ab lift position. So we're going to do our single leg stretches, but this band is now there. So we have a bit of resistance. Then we're just going to extend the right leg out and bend. The breath is an extend and bend to the center. You are extending your leg and bending it. Now we can go slower because we have this resistance. We're now imprinted pelvis and extend and bend. Back and 4, 5. We're going to do 10 on each side. 7. And now I want you to be mindful of the direction your leg is moving in. So make sure that you're not pressing out sideways or doing something funny. We're keeping in this middle line, shifting or keeping our gaze in the middle of our thighs. So you still have a space for a small fist to fit under your chin and your chest. Extend and bend. Last one, extend and bend. Inhale, extend and bend. Exhale, lower the head down and place the legs or the feet down again. We're in that hip distance position. Hands are behind your head. We're going to go into our obliques now. So we're finding our neutral pelvis first. Then we're going to come up in our chest lift position. So coming up in the chest lift position, you can also go into a bit of a tilt. So try not to. I want you to try to train now that we stay in that neutral position. Just for now, if it's too much, then you can go into your imprint. So because our feet are flat on the floor, we try to maintain our neutral. We're going to rotate our right underarm towards our left knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale back to center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale back to center. We are using our obliques to rotate here. Exhale. Inhale back. try not to lead with your elbow. So don't try to get the elbow to your knee. Try to get the underarm to your knee. Otherwise, you can think about taking your opposite rib to your opposite hip. We are keeping our hips stable. And lift. And 2 more to each side. And twist. And 1. And 1. Back to center. Inhale. And exhale, lower the head down. On the next one, I'm just going to do the legs with you. So the arms stay down. We're going to do our double leg stretch. But the double leg stretch that I'm going to do with you will just be the legs extending. So we'll start in imprint, bringing the legs up in our tabletop. And then we're just going to extend the legs out and bend. Now you can gauge for yourself. If you feel like this is too much strain on your abdominals, then you point your feet up and bend. Point up and bend. Or you can press out more in a diagonal if you want to challenge yourself slightly, because we're increasing that lever length. So increasing this, I don't want to say strain, but increasing a little bit of tension on the abdominals as you put your legs out further away from the stabilizers. So extend and bend. Exhale, extend and bend. 2 more. Extend and bend. Last 1. And bend and hug your knees to your chest for just a moment. Beautiful. We're going to take our band out for now. And then we're just going to go into our spine twist. So feet are slightly apart, about hip distance. We are seated right on top of our sit bones. If you feel like it's a struggle to sit on top of your sit bones and not sink into your lower back like this, then bend your knees slightly or prop yourself up on a pillow or a block if you have one. And then we're just going to put our hands out towards the side. Palms are facing down. We're going to twist to the right-hand side first. So twisting the arms and the head around 3 times. Inhale, back to center. So exhale, 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 back to center. And twist. Back to center. We're twisting out from our obliques. So using our obliques to twist us all the way around and using that air as well. So you're almost like a cloth that's being wringed out. Inhale back, last twist to each side. 3 and back. Twist, twist, twist and back. Arms come down. Shift yourself to the front of your mat. We're going to do rolling like a ball. You could use your band to place it underneath the foot. We are balanced at behind the sit bones. So in order to get into this position, our feet are flat. We're seated on top of the sit bones. Tuck the tail. You're going to feel there's a nice cushiony bit where you can balance. Then lift your feet up. We're in a round C curve. Inhale to roll back. We're using our abdominals to control the roll back and up. Inhale, roll back only onto the shoulders and no higher. So you don't want to go rolling onto your neck. You shift your gaze and keep your eye line towards your belly button. Inhale, roll. Exhale, up. And 2. And up. And 1. And up. Balance at the top. Put the band back. And then we're just going to go onto our backs. Just all the way flat. For our roll-up exercise, legs are long. Arms are stretched up overhead to start. We're going to take a nice deep breath in here. I'll show you the modifications as we go along. So we'll reach the arms up towards eye line. Nod the head, lift it, go up all the way, flex over the legs. Inhale, roll back. And exhale to complete the roll down. If you have a TheraBand, you can use it to help you. If not, I'll show you the modification without as well. So we'll put the strap underneath the feet. And then inhale, nod the head to the chest. Exhale to flex forward over the legs. Inhale, roll through that lower back, relaxing the shoulders. Exhale, complete the roll down. You only release your head not right at the end. Inhale, mode, exhale, lift. Now I'll show it without, with a modification. Your feet can be bent, roll halfway down, and complete. Inhale, lift the arms, exhale up. Roll down, inhale, exhale down. If you have a bit of a spot here in the back where you feel you're rolling almost into a obstruction, you can place a small pillow or just a little block or spacer behind your lower back on the mat. And inhale, lift, exhale, up and over. Another modification, we'll just do 3 more, is to grab your legs. So inhale, nod the head, exhale, come up and over. Or you can have your legs flat and do the same thing. Inhale and exhale, bend and flex forward. And up. Now I'm just going to do the normal, the full one. Inhale, reach, exhale, nod the chin to the chest. And we're going to end on our back for the next one. So all the way on the back, arms are next to the side. We're going to point the right toe up to the ceiling. If you can't, if your hamstrings are too tight, we keep a bent knee. Today, my hamstrings are very tight, so I'll keep a bent knee for this one. We're pressing that left heel into the mat, squeezing the left glute, and then we're just going to circle around into the midline. Exhale to complete. Inhale, circle, exhale, complete 2. Inhale, circle, exhale, complete 3. You're drawing the circle with your knee and not with your foot. So be mindful that you are twisting out from the hip. And then we're going to rotate other way around and back. Inhale, rotate, exhale, back. Relaxing the neck and shoulders, keeping the hips as stable as possible. Your circle is only as big as you can maintain hip stability. 2 and back, and 1 and back. I'm going to do a small challenge with you. We're going to circle in for very small, fast circles. So it's inhale, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1, and circle outwards for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg down. Whew, it's hard work. Bend the knee up. We're going to do our bigger circles first. So circle in and around. And squeeze that right bum. Squeeze the right heel into the mat. Circle around and 4, 5. Circle around, out and around, and back to center. For 2, 3, 4. You might feel like you have one stronger and one weaker hip. And 5. Circle in, fast circles in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, 5. This leg is lagging. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And circle out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower the leg down. And then we're just going to turn around again on our stomach. So we're just going to move into our breaststroke exercise. Hands are by your shoulders. Legs are about a hip distance apart. Forehead is resting on the mat. We're going to dive the arms forward. I'm just going to do the arms with you first. Circle them around. So this is the movements. Dive forward, circle around. It's almost as if you're doing breaststroke swimming. Hence the word breaststroke. And swim around. Exhale, inhale, circle. Exhale, dive, inhale, circle. Exhale, dive, inhale, circle. Last one, exhale, dive, inhale, circle. Hands back to the shoulders. Then we're just going to add something else. So we're going to add a lift of the head. We're going to lift up in our extension position, but the arms are going to shoot out in front of us. So it's going to be an inhale to prepare, exhale to dive forward, inhale to reach up and extend the back even more, looking slightly forward. Exhale, gaze down, inhale, circle around, gaze up, and around, and forth, and around. Last one. This is very tough. If you can't lift your back up like this, please just use the arms, head down, and sit back into our shell stretch. Oh, I'm eating hair. Around back. And bounce your chest for just small bounces towards the mat. Take a nice deep breath in here and out. We're going to put our band back again. So the band goes just above the knees. We're going to do a few variations of the shoulder bridge with this band. So the band gives us lovely feedback on the side of our knees. It also gives us a little bit of resistance, and it allows us to get the correct alignment for our knees over our toes. So we're about hip distance apart. Bring your feet close to your seat. So it's going to be pretty close. So you can lift up through your glutes. Arms are down, palms are facing down to the floor. And then we're just going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, we're going to hinge up. So it's not like the hip roll where we roll. We're just going to hinge our hips up towards the ceiling, onto the shoulder blades. Inhale, stay. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, keep the knees still in space. So don't allow them to press out just yet. Inhale, stay, and lower. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. Anyway, so if you are feeling your hamstrings are working harder than your glutes, then you can lift your hips up slightly higher as you come up and lower them down. Alternatively, if you're getting cramps, you can shift your feet out slightly wider and then do your lift from there and lower. 2 more, lift. It's hard work, and lift. Keep the hips high. Now we're going to do butt grips. So imagine you're holding something very valuable, like a little diamond, between your butt cheek, and you're just going to let it go slightly and then pinch it back up to the sky. It's a very small movement. It's not big. It's not a pulse. It's just a squeeze and a release. And release. And release. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower down all the way. Just give yourself a little bit of a hug before we do the next one. Now we're just going to place the feet down again. Same position, inhale. Exhale, hinge up. Now shift your weight to your right leg. So right bum is taking the weight without sinking the left hip. So you're keeping it still in space. Shift yourself back to the middle onto both feet. Then shift yourself over to the right side. So your weight is now over the left leg, over the left foot, over the left glute, but the right hip is still staying level. Back to center. Shift to the right and back. Shift to the left and back. Once again, you can almost not see that I'm doing anything because the movement and the activation is so small. We're just activating each of these glutes separately and release. Back to center, shift to the right for the last one. Back to center, shift to the left, carry on breathing and lower down. Whew, who would have known that such a small movement can have such a big effect? Okay, hug the knees to the chest, take a nice deep breath here. And exhale. Now the next step of this Inhale to prepare. We're going to exhale to lift the hips up. You're on your shoulder blades. Your hands are pressing into the mat. Your arms are active. Abdominals are active. Lift the left leg off the mat into a tabletop and lower it down. Right leg off and lower it down. Left and lower. Right and lower. Left, the last one, lower. Right and lower. Squeeze the bum up there. Hold it. You can do it. And lower down. All the way. Hug your knees in. Beautiful. Way. Okay. We're going to turn ourselves around onto all fours. Hands up. So we keep this band in exactly the same position. All fours, we're putting our hands, fingertips are nicely spread onto the mat, pushing up from the shoulder blades. We don't want to sink into the shoulder blade, pressing up and out of the shoulder blade. We're just going to breathe here for a moment. We'll do a few cat-cow stretches. Inhale. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone round the back, press away from the shoulders. Inhale to stay and exhale to press the bum back and up, rippling the rest of the back. Inhale and exhale, tuck and round. And back again. Go find that neutral position. We're just going to slide this back foot out and draw it into the middle. While you're doing this, focus on keeping your hips stable in a square position face down towards the floor. So you don't want one hip to go higher than the other hip or lower, and lower down. Extend the left and slide it back. We're extending and I want you to squeeze those glutes. I don't know if you've noticed, but our glutes are working quite hard today. And bend. Extend. Nice. And bend. Keep the shoulder blades pressed away. And bend. Extend. And bend. Now extend the left leg. Lift it up. Lower it down. Shift it back. If you feel like you can't slide your foot back, you can use your toe, bring it back, and bend. So tucking your toes underneath, we're going to step back, step back, lift, lower, step back to center, and back, in, and keeping those abdominals active, keeping the shoulder blades pressed out. And now we're just going to do a bit of a Jane Fonda move. We're going to lift the right knee up into a fire hydrant position. So lift to the side and lower. Be mindful of your back or your pelvis in this position. As you lift your leg out to the side, you want the focus to be here in the glute medius. So what you don't want is to hike up to one side or lean too much. So you want to try to distribute your weight evenly over your hands and the knee that's on the floor. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back. Now we're going to exhale, lift the right leg. Shift it slightly backwards and then pulse up towards the roof. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Whew. Sit back to your heels. You can do a few bounces there on your feet. And then back to center. Left leg comes up and lower. So if you want to see from this side, to lift and a lower. And a lift and a lower. So lift to the side and lower down. Lift to the side and lower down. Lift to the side, shift your knee back to the back corner of the room. If you are in a square room, press back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Knee back and just sit back into your shell stretch again. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. We're going to do a bit of the saw exercise. So you'll take the band off, the torturous band. Our legs are about at shoulder distance apart, pulling the toes towards the nose. So our feet are in dorsiflexion. And then we're just going to stretch the arms out to the side. Palms are facing forward on this one. We'll inhale to rotate to the right-hand side. Exhale to flex forward over the leg, or over the opposite leg. So now you have your pinky toe and your pinky touching one another. Back thumb is turning downwards to the floor. We'll inhale to turn the back thumb back to the ceiling and exhale back to center. So it's an inhale to rotate, exhale to flex forward, turning the back thumb down. Inhale to reach back up, stay twisted, exhale to go to center. Inhale, rotate, exhale to flex forward. Inhale, sit upright and exhale back to center. Inhale, rotate, exhale, flex. Inhale up, exhale back. And 2 more to each side and flex. So here we are moving through a lot of the planes of movement. We're doing a rotation, flexion, slight extension, back to center, and the last rotation to each side. Up and back. Carry on breathing. Inhale, exhale, flex, inhale, up and back. And this one is quite intense on the shoulders as well. We're going to go straight into that open leg rocker. It's almost like rolling like a ball, except the positioning of our back is slightly different. So I'll take you through it nice and slow. We're going to sit on top of the sit bones to start with, then tuck the tail. Now we're on the back of the sit bones, the squishy part again. And our legs come up in a tabletop position. Toes are pointed and legs are about shoulder distance apart. You can hold onto the back of your thighs. Where the difference is here is that our upper back starts in an extended position. And it also, every time you come back to balance, you extend your upper back. So in other words, you straighten your upper back. The lower back still is in that C curve. And then we're just going to initiate the roll back with the inhale, tucking the tailbone, rounding the back onto the shoulders, coming up all the way and balancing again. So it's an inhale, tuck and roll. Exhale and balance. Inhale, tuck, roll onto the shoulders. Exhale, extend the upper back and balance. Inhale, roll. Exhale, up. Inhale and up. 3 and up. Keep the gaze towards the middle of your thigh and up. Last one. Tuck the tail. Use the abdominals and balance on top, well, behind the sit bones. Small challenge at the end. We're just going to extend the legs and bend. If you can, extend as much as you can, even if it's just there and back. Even if it's just there and back, that's also okay. And we'll do 3 more here. Inhale, reach, exhale, bend. Inhale, reach, exhale, bend. Inhale, reach, exhale, bend. And we're going to take our band again, place it underneath, or in the same position, above the knee. And then we're just going to sit on top of the sit bones for our oblique roll back. Palms are facing in, relaxing the shoulders. We're going to tuck the tail and rotate to the left to come up again onto the sit bones. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, rotate and come back. So it's a very intense roll back with the rotation. So we're getting obliques and rectus abdominis and all of our stabilizers. Inhale up. Exhale to twist, and our shoulders are now also in the game. So exhale, sweep the arm across and lift, and sweep, and lift, and sweep, and lift. You're pressing into the sides of the band as you roll back. Tuck the tail. Roll back up. And 2. And up. And 2. And up. And 1. And exhale. Up. And then we're just going to lie on our back. You can rock from side to side with your knees. And then we're going to shift the band to our ankles. We're going to lie on our sides. So we'll do the side lifted series. This is a little bit more intermediate. So if you feel like it's too much on your shoulder, you can lie down flat on the mat, no problem. So we're just going to keep this underside lifted, press out from this shoulder. So we have activation of our shoulder blade, and then we're just keeping the legs bent first. You're going to extend this top leg, and then we're just going to lift and lower into the resistance. Once again, if this is too much on your legs, you take the band out while you lift up. So it's an exhale lift, inhale lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Alternatively, you can just lift the knee and lower it down. You don't have to straighten the leg out. And lower down. Inhale, lift. And lift. Last one. Lift. Now we're going to do small circles backwards. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep pressing to the shoulder. 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee. Round the back and then extend backwards for 1. And bend. And 2. So we're flexing forward and extending back. And extending back. And extending back. Last one. We're almost there. I know it's tough. And extend. Bend the knee. Hit this bum out a little bit if it's burning. I know mine definitely is. Keep the band here. Prop yourself up on the opposite shoulder. Bend the knees slightly in front of you. Your hips stay squared during the whole movement. And then we're just going to extend this leg and lift and lower. Remember to keep this active and lower. Lift, inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Think length through the top of this leg and lower. Lift and lower. Once again, you can bend it here and lower. Lift and lower. And then we're going to circle back for 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep this active. Press out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. And then temporarily, I have forgotten the last one we did. Oh, bend and stretch. And bend, inhale. Stretch, exhale. Bend, inhale. See, I was in so much pain that I forgot. And 4, extend. 3, and 2, and flex. 1, and bend. You can hit this bum out. Well done. We're going to take this torture device out now. So it's going to be done for a little while. We're going to go into all fours for our swimming preps. So pressing up through the shoulder blades. We're just going to do a few cat cows again, just to get that mobilization, stretch a little bit. Inhale, as you exhale, tuck the tail, round the back, press away with the shoulders. Inhale, stay, exhale, press up, and extend, pulling the shoulder blades down and back. Inhale, as you exhale, tuck the tail, round the back. Inhale, and press up and away. Inhale, tuck. And then go find that neutral pelvis position. We're just going to stretch the right hand out and the left leg and lower them down. and stretch and back. And lower. You're forming one long line. So this is one of those exercises that we feel the opposition. Pulling forward with the arm, pulling back with the leg, and lower them down. Lift, stretch, and lower. Really feel that stretch as you lift up. Feel the opposition back all the way. Keep the shoulders active. And back. And left. And back. Don't kill me. We are putting our band back again. Again, now the band will be in the same position above the knees. And we'll have our knees at about a hip distance apart. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Knees are directly underneath the hips. You can tuck your toes in underneath. What we'll do now is inhale to prepare. As you exhale, we're hovering the knees above the mat. Inhale, stay. Exhale, lower down. This is our push-up prep. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Inhale, stay. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, exhale, pull. And lower. Our leg pull front comes from this. Inhale, exhale, press. Inhale, stay, and lower down. Last one, inhale. Exhale, lift. Who would have thought such a small movement, such a big effect? Inhale, prepare. Exhale, press up. Now open the knees and close them. Open and close. Only 3, last one, and lower down. Inhale, we're almost there. Exhale, press up. Open the knees, 1 and back. 2 and back. 3 and back. Lower the legs down and sit back. Okay. So arms are stretched out in front of you. You're sitting in this nice shell stretch. And out. We're going to move into our side bend. So we're keeping our band there. Then we're going to place the top leg, so front foot in front, and the back leg is just hooked in behind the front leg. We have our hand in line with our knee in the front. So this knee that's bent on the floor, your hand is in line with that one. You can also do this without the band if it's too much. Okay, so if you lift up from this position, you should give yourself enough space for your legs to go further down on the mat. So when you lift up, that you're not too cramped. So you don't want to be here because then you're going to struggle to lift up. So feet are a little bit further down the mat. This knee stays grounded on the mat. The only part that lifts up is our hip, and we're going to lower down. So the right hand, my right hand is now resting on my knee. If you on the other hand, that's fine. We're just going to inhale, press up through that bottom leg, lift the hips up, move into that nice bow shape. Exhale to lower down. We are pressing out from under this shoulder. This shoulder is there for stabilization. If it's too much on your shoulder, you can go down like this and lift up, lower down. Otherwise, the hand can be flat. So if fingers are facing that way, so the back of the mat, if you were to lie that way. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, and exhale, lower. Inhale, last one. Exhale back. The band is giving a lot of resistance. So if you really feel like you're not getting anywhere with this, please take the band off. We're swapping over to the other side, pressing out from this shoulder, using the stabilization of the shoulder, resting the opposite hand on the opposite knee. Lift up, keep the hips face forward. Inhale. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down all the way. This was the last band exercise. Feet, you can take it off, and then we're just going to hug the knees to the chest. Take a nice deep breath here. Just ground yourself again. And then we're just going to do a few hip rolls to roll through the spine, really just stretching it out. So inhale, palms are facing down. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone, curl up. Take your time here to come up onto the shoulders. Inhale, prepare. Exhale to sink into the rib cage. All the way down. You can arch a little bit more on this one. So we're going to do a bit of more of an arch. Exhale, tilt the pelvis, and come up. So this is serving now as our interlude stretch. Inhale. Exhale to roll down, vertebra by vertebra, segment for segment. Extend the spine. Exhale, tuck the tail, roll up. Press the arms down into the mat. Inhale. And exhale to all the way down. And now we're going to come to a standing position. We're going to do our last few roll downs. And then I just want you to stand with your feet about hip distance apart. Arms are just hanging by the side. Relaxing the shoulders. Inhale at the top. Exhale to nod the chin to the chest. You still have a space for a small fist to fit between your chin and your chest. As you roll down all the way, we're going to do small bounces to the middle. Bounce all the way around as far as you can to the right-hand side. Then all the way as far as you can to the left-hand side. You should feel a nice stretch there in your side. Inhale at the bottom. As you exhale, contract the glutes. Curl up all the way from the lower back, upper back. The head is the last thing to lift. Inhale, reaching the crown of the head away from to the roof, to the ceiling. So you feel a nice stretch in your neck there as you exhale. Nod and roll down. Your arms and head is hanging heavily down towards the mat. We're just going to take nice small bounces here. Now bounce to the left-hand side first. All the way around to the right. Carry on breathing, very important. Inhale. And then exhale to curl up all the way to standing. And we are finished. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a lovely day further.